Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to Talladega Superspeedway, or as the locals call it, Talladega. We are live for Garage Cam on NASCAR.com, and we're going to make our way over to the number 11 Toyota Camry of Denny Hamlin, who this week has been medically cleared to go ahead and race here in Talladega. The question is, how is the team going to plan his race weekend? Are they going to just have him practice qualify, run a lap, and get out? Or is he going to go try to run the race? You can find out at 2 o'clock, I think 2:05 actually, on NASCAR.com's Press Pass. And for any of you stat gurus out there, if Denny Hamlin does call for a relief driver, the only time a relief driver has won here at Talladega was in 1977 when Darrell Waltrip filled in for Donnie Allison. So there is a chance that Denny Hamlin could technically get credit for a win if he steps out of the car a few laps into the race and lets someone fill in, i.e. Brian Vickers. We want to welcome everyone into the chat room. For all of you that are in there, if you see on the right-hand side our chat room, go ahead and log in, sign in, send your request. We want to know who you're talking about. Now my cam guy, our new cam guy, just showed a very important feature of this 11 car. They have built a roof hatch into the 11 car as a means to help Denny Hamlin get out of the car when needed. Something that I was told by our NASCAR.com reporter, Alan Cavana. Thank you for the heads up on that. So we're going to make our way down the garage here, show you guys some of your favorite cars and stars of the Sprint Cup Series on the one and only Garage Cam. Jeff Gordon's number 24 Chevy SS. Going through some final tune-ups. A new paint scheme for Jeff Gordon and some cool looking flames that Sam Bass helped design. Make that 24 car look really good going around the racetrack. Here we are at the 56, Martin Truex Jr. Another Michael Waltrip Racing team looking to end up in victory lane here on Sunday at Talladega, something that Michael Waltrip is familiar with back in October of 2003. 39 car, Ryan Newman, Haas Automation Chevy. Another one of those Stewart Haas cars that really could use a boost coming into this weekend. They've struggled for a good part of this season. They just can't seem to figure out exactly what they need to get the cars going. But you never know. Talladega is a crapshoot and anything can happen. The number 22 car, Joey Logano. Crew's putting on some final touches to the windows. These super speedway cars are so delicate. Measure everything down to inches, centimeters, whatever other form of metric system you want to use to make sure these cars are in the perfect condition to handle the draft. And as we make our way down further, we've got the number 17, Best Buy Ford of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Roush Fenway so dominant, and especially the 17 car on restrictor plate tracks last year. Ricky to look to end up where the 17 car did last time we were here at Talladega, which was in victory lane. Jeff Burton's crew working under the hood of the number 31 car. And speaking of Jeff Burton, I have spotted Miss Sprint Cup Jacqueline over here by the 31 car. What's up, Jacqueline? What are you up to?
Hey, I'm doing a vote right now. I'm making my rounds in the garage because it's a Sprint fan vote. There's 26 drivers that still need to be voted in. So what do you think about this time? I'm going to go with Jeff Burton.
Well, given we're by Jeff Burton's car, he's in the Cat Chevy. RCR
Yes.
is always a threat to run up front.
Yes.
He's a previous winner at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the Coach 600.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going through everyone's garage stalls of the 26 drivers that are eligible, and I'm just voting for each of them. Since votes count as double, I can vote all day.
Show the fans, put your phone up to the camera here and show the fans exactly how this works and how simple of a process it is.
So you go to NASCAR Mobile 13, you pull up. I already casted my vote, so I got to enter my email address, but it's easy. The votes count as double. Anybody can do it on your smartphone, but if you're a Sprint customer, it's free. So I get it for free.
You can't go wrong with free. Free
My
is always
favorite
good. It is the greatest.
Good.
It is the greatest four-letter word in the world.
I need to go down and see who else I'm going to cast my Sprint fan vote for. I think my next stop is going to be Martin Truex Jr.
All right, you go cast your fan vote. We're going to go take the fans on the rest of the tour here at Talladega's Garage. We'll run into you later on.
Have fun. Bye, guys.
All right, we're going to cut through the garage here in between Ricky Stenhouse and Jeff Burton. We're just going to kind of sneak our way through. Shoot up alongside here. And as we go along, I got a trivia question for you fans out there. Who is the driver that is tied with Buddy Baker for the most second-place finishes at Talladega? He is a current driver, and he is a Sprint Cup Series champion. Send your answers in the chat room, and my producer back on the truck, Nick Duncan, will get me the first correct answer, and we'll give you a shout-out here on the website. We pan left here. We arrive at the number 81 to our right, actually. Let me get my course correction going. The number 81 Double Mint Toyota of Elliott Sadler, making his second Sprint Cup Series start. This is a very green car. It just screams freshness and cleanliness, probably the same way your mouth feels after eating Double Mint gum. Sadler is known here at Talladega for a couple wild rides he's had in the fall races of 2003 and 2004. Hoping to not repeat that occurrence this weekend and end up with a good finish for the Joe Gibbs Racing cars. Let's see what we got here. Kate Davis, our boss, was first in the chat room. Come on, fans. You got to beat our boss in there. You got to beat her in there. Got to beat her at our own game. Hobbs 14, you want to see the number 18? Well, don't you worry. We will get to the number 18 before Garage Cam is over, all the way from Germany. Keen fan forever. It was your birthday yesterday. I deserve a shout out. Happy birthday to you. Hope it was a good one. As we make our way through the back side of the garage here. But you know what? The back side of the garage here isn't the worst place to be, because every single driver here, as long as you're going to run the race, has a shot to win at Talladega. Anything can happen here, including spider webs that seem to grow. I wonder if this is left over from October and Halloween weekend. Hopefully it's not a bad omen for the number 33 of Landon Castle, as his crew is working hard. And right next door we have the number 38 Ford of David Gilliland. And I may need to be corrected, but I'm pretty sure David Gilliland has a pole here, unless it was his teammate Travis Quapple a few years ago, to which I apologize for the inaccuracy. Speaking of David Gilliland, there's the driver of the number 38, overlooking his car with a crew member. So we got a couple empty garage stalls here. There's this kind of big area floating in here in the garage. And we're going to go ahead and head over to the other side of this area where all the NASCAR officials are doing all their work, looking over their parts and pieces. So here we are arriving at the Swan Racing number 30. David Stremme, another one of those, not lower level teams, I gotta think of a better word to call it, but one of those teams that could really surprise some people here at Talladega and show up, get a top 5, top 10. Dave Blaney did it a few years ago in the 36. Anything can happen, so you can't count any of these guys out. Back out into the sunshine here. All right. We have a winner for our trivia question already. My audio guy, CJ, challenged me with a trivia question to find for someone, and someone has already figured it out. Ivan Packery, or Fackery. I apologize if I am butchering your last name. He picked the correct answer is Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart is tied with Buddy Baker for the most second-place finishes of 6. So If you're looking for Tony Stewart to be around at the finish, he'll be second. The question is he going to make the move and go for the win? And here we are at Danica Patrick's number 10 car. Last update I heard, she was actually on the pole for the nationwide race right now. That has changed. Austin Dillon has jumped up to first, knocking Danica to the outside of the front row. But nevertheless, probably is going to be a good start. Katie Koppel, you would like to see the number 10. Well, there you go. The 34 car of David Reagan. And as we pan right, it's the Gecko. Whatever he decides to call himself. He's on the front of Casey Mears' number 13 Ford. I don't know if on the front of this Ford it is high-res as the one commercial where he's getting the makeup put on him. But that's still some incredible detail for the picture of a Gecko on a Ford. There's a Gecko again on the side of another machine. He's everywhere. All right, we are starting to get to the middle here. And check out this paint scheme for Juan Pablo Montoya this week in the Clorox 100-year anniversary Chevy SS. That just looks like a fun time. Some funfetti all over the car. Question is there going to be confetti on the funfetti in Victory Lane on Sunday? Juan Pablo came so close to winning last weekend in Richmond. Unfortunately for him, 4 tires didn't pay off as well as they did for other drivers like Kevin Harvick. But nevertheless, a strong run and a much-needed strong run for an Earnhardt Ganassi entry. The number 9, Marcus Ambrose. The Aussie from Down Under. That was an attempt at an Australian accent. I don't know if it worked very well. Crew working on these final preps. Practice is always tricky here at Talladega because if you remember from testing in January in Daytona and a few of the other practices during the start of speed weeks, coming here and running laps and putting yourself in the middle of the pack can get very dangerous. And it's something that you just don't want to ruin these cars that these crews have worked so hard on in the shop to rebuild and prep. And I don't know if the spotters are going to miss the number 14 car of smoke from the spotter stand this week. That is one heck of a hunter's orange. If that's a legitimate color, we're going to go ahead and call it that. The Bass Pro Shops Trekker Boats Mobil 1 Chevy for Tony Stewart. Tony didn't have exactly the finish I think he was hoping last October when we came here to Talladega, but nevertheless, there's always time for redemption. So, we are back out here in the garage. That is one side of the garage. There's a spotting of Juan Pablo Montoya walking toward his car, waving. He must be happy that it's Clorox's 100th year anniversary. Talking to a crew member. Let's see what other shout-outs we have here. Zachary Gibbons. Got to see the Mr. The Plate. Matt Kenseth. Last year, that was 100% accurate. Even this year it could have been if it weren't for engine troubles in Daytona. One of the BK racing cars. Going through inspection. These new inspection process with all these trinkets, parts, pieces, lasers, everyone. They can be complicated, but they're also good. So what we're going to do here, we're going to make our way around the other side of the garage and get to the big contenders, the guys who have been running up front so far this year, the Jimmy Johnsons, the Brad Keselowskis, the Carl Edwards, Dale Earnhardt Jr., which I'm amazed when I said that a cheer didn't erupt from the garage, because almost any time you mention his name here in Talladega, there's just joy overflowing everywhere. Nationwide qualifying still going on. As you see, we get around to this side of the garage, it is very open. Lots of space, lots of room for these cars to maneuver. Some garages are kind of tight. Some are a little bit bigger than others. This one, a lot of room. The other news this week coming from the Penske camp, Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano had their appeal hearing in Concord, North Carolina at NASCAR's Research and Development Center. The penalties were upheld, but they're going to go through the final step of the process. And as you can see, it's almost like they don't want anyone being anywhere near the cars. They got a little gate covering us. Not your usual gate, a sponsored gate. Penske and Miller Lite. Nevertheless, Brad Keselowski got his first career Sprint Cup Series win back here in 2009. And that dramatic finish with Carl Edwards coming through the tri-oval. Carroll Hallett, we're going to get to the 99, speaking of him. But first, we're going to go ahead and show you the number 48 of Jimmie Johnson. This man last year just had no luck at restrictor plate races whatsoever. His only finish was in the fall race at Talladega, and he was wrecked across the start-finish line and hitched a ride with his teammate Dale Jr. back to the garage. This year, they're 1 for 1. Daytona 500 champion for 2013. Looking to go 2 for 2 so far on the restrictor plate tracks. And well, Carol, we mentioned it. There it is, the number 99 Fastenal Ford for Carl Edwards and Roush Fenway Racing. Always a unique paint scheme on that 99 car when Fastenal's on board. Just fast lines, blue and the white. It's a good mixture that goes together. Equals a fast combination. Carl Edwards hoping so this weekend at Talladega. Place that just kind of hasn't been very good for him. And here's Jimmie Johnson's teammate, the number 5 of Kasey Kahne, this week sporting Time Warner cable on his car. And if my camera guy zoom up here a little bit toward the top of this windshield, if you look at all those little tabs, those are all windshield tear-offs. There's wrecks here, sometimes pretty big ones, some oil spilt. Oil dry needs to put down. This is an easy way for those crews to just tear one of those tear-offs right off, and brand spanking new windshield for Kasey Kahne. And here come the cheers. Well, maybe not, because Dale Jr. is not here yet, but nevertheless, here is the number 88 National Guard Chevy SS for Dale Earnhardt Jr., a man who is second among active drivers with victories at 5. The only driver above him is Jeff Gordon at 6. And, of course, the all-time winner here at Talladega is his father, Dale Earnhardt Sr., with 10 victories. The man who they say could see the air here at Talladega. Go ahead and get my camera guy to pan left. See a Michael McDowell sighting walking through the garage here, heading toward his number 98 Ford. Getting ready to race. And here's someone that, well, he's probably the crowd favorite besides Dale Earnhardt Jr. this weekend, because when you're in Alabama, you have 2 options. Alabama football or Auburn. And this week, Michael Waltrip, he's got Alabama Crimson Tide on his number 55 Toyota. Hey, Mikey, live on NASCAR.com Garage Cam. How excited are you to be in Talladega with another Alabama National Championship car?
Well, I'm just honored that we get to represent the Tide and all the success that they've had. And Aaron's is a great partner. We've been together for 14 years, and we've gotten to do some really cool things. I raced the car that attributed my brother's career. We raced the Auburn car. We raced the Bama car. Now we're back with the Bama car again. And, you know, if you just like winning, you like being in Talladega with Alabama, University of Alabama, 15 national championships on the car. Pretty special weekend for our whole team, and I'm thankful to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Good luck the rest of this weekend,
Thank you
Michael.
very much.
And speaking of the number 55, we'll go ahead and follow Michael right over. This is the part that pains me, and my producer back home in Charlotte, Matt Roper, knows all about this. His Crimson Tide beat the living snot out of my Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and there it is, all 15. Well, yeah, 15 of Alabama's national championships hanging above the garage, and the car with the 2012 Crimson Tide back-to-back national champions logo on the hood. There we go. I said it. I can get over it. It's in the past. We're all good. FYI, this is breaking news that just came into me. Travis Pastrana has just qualified on pole for tomorrow's Nationwide Series race, his first career Nationwide Series pole. Some interesting little news coming out from Talladega. Let's see here. We got Matt Kenseth coming into his garage behind us here. Getting ready to hop in his number 20 Husky Toyota. Kenseth obviously just dominant at these restrictor plate races last year. There wasn't much that he couldn't do. I think his average finish of the 4 restrictor plate races was either second or third, which is just incredible. Those numbers are insane for races that require so much luck along with skill. There's always skill that's involved. And Zachary Gibbons, you wanted to see this number 20 car and the driver, Matt Kenseth. Well, there you go. Strapping in, getting ready to go out for first round of practice here. As we go over, Denny Hamlin is in the number 11 FedEx Toyota. Michael Waltrip leaning in to talk to him along with Darian Grubb. Denny, first time back in a car since Fontana back in March. Brian Vickers joining in. This has been a real team effort between Mark Martin helping out the number 11, Brian Vickers, the cooperation between Michael Waltrip Racing and Joe Gibbs Racing. It's the kind of things you like to see, everyone looking out for each other and taking care of each other in this sport. Denny Hamlin with a big smile on his face as he sits in the number 11. It's got to be a good feeling to be back in the seat of your own car. As you can hear some of the engines firing up here, some last second tuning. So we got about 10 minutes left on NASCAR.com Garage Cam. We didn't show you a couple of cars, so we're going to go back this way. As you can see the 51 tuning up. Listen to that horsepower, fans. If that doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what does. The number 51 Reagan Smith. And look at all these media members outside Denny Hamlin's. This isn't a big story. I don't know what is. So we're going to go back down this way as Jeff Gordon, actually. Let's go ahead and get Jeff Gordon. He's in his garage. Martin Truex is in the garage. Right there, left. The drivers are all starting to show up, which I know is what all of you like. Like to see your favorite Sprint Cup Series drivers. Ryan Newman. Climbing into his number 39 machine. Getting ready to go. Better shot of Martin Truex Jr. He'll probably earn a lot of fans if he helps push that number 55 Crimson Tide Toyota to the front of the pack on Sunday afternoon. And the Aaron's 499. We don't want to make it 491. That was extra 8 miles. That's where all the drama is. Head over Joey Logano in his number 22 Penske Racing Pennzoil Ford. Getting ready to strap the helmet on. Joey looking for his first ever restrictor plate win this weekend. And we're going to go back over here to Jeff Burton, who's in his car. Because, interesting stat for you. Richard Childress Racing has won 3 of the last 6 Sprint Cup Series races here at Talladega. Jeff Burton, in the fall of 2011, finished second behind his teammate Clint Boyer. I mean, you've won 3 of 6. It's got to be some pretty good stats to be going off of. To get strapped in, putting the steering wheel on, getting ready to go out for practice, which is always a very tense time. Those first few minutes of practice here at Talladega when they all get lined up. And you wonder just how many are going to go off into turn 1 in the pack and how many are going to come back around off turn 4. Lori Rhodes Gauthier. And again, I apologize for the butchering of these last names. I am not good with names. She says, hello, Newman from the Michigan girls. Be up in the Michigan area in June for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race up there. the extremely fast Michigan International Raceway. So as the drivers are strapping in, we're going to make our way back toward the front, see if we can't catch a few of those other drivers for you and catch a few of the cars we might have missed on you. And to update the weather, this is for a friend back in Atlanta, John O'Connor. It's not raining, so we're doing good in Talladega so far. As long as we keep proving those weather forecasts wrong, we keep it dry, we're going to have cars on track. We're going to get to racing this weekend. Keep making our way up a little bit here. Number 55 again. Strapped in his machine, ready to go. There's a few cars up here that we missed for you fans on Garage Cam. We don't like to miss things for you guys. Here's the number 1 McDonald Chevy at Jamie McMurray. Big Mac on the side above the window. Those horses are ready to roll. I hear whistles, fans. And the whistles mean that we're about to go racing. We're going to make sure we stay out of the way here and go down and get you a shot of all these Gen 6 2013 Sprint Cup Series cars pulling out of the garage. Just a couple minutes left here on Garage Cam. We want to thank you guys for joining us today, taking time out of your busy Fridays to enjoy some NASCAR action, which is always, you can't go wrong with NASCAR action on Friday. It's the reason why we're all here doing the jobs that we love. Let's see here. Let's see if we got any Tigra. You say Kevin Harvick is going to repeat, go back-to-back in the number 29 car. Rich Manan here. It would be quite a statement going from a 3/4 mile racetrack and getting a victory to a 2.66 mile super speedway. Here comes Brad Keselowski, the number 2 Blue Deuce, rolling out of his garage stall. Closely behind him, just as it was at the end of 2012, the number 48 of Jimmy Johnson. 99 of Carl Edwards. Teammates Casey Kane and Let the Cheers Fly, Dale Jr. pulling out. Number 15, Clint Boyer, looking to take another victory here at Talladega. The 18 of Kyle Busch, the 16 of Greg Biffle. And there goes that 55 Aaron's National Championship car, along with Matt Kenseth, another Toyota. Paul Menard. It's hard to describe the feeling of when these cars come by and they're rolling out. Denny Hamlin, for the first time since Montana, rolling out in his 11. Jeff Gordon. So as we walk down these final few cars, I'm just going to let you listen. All right, race fans, that is it. Sprint Cup Series Garage Cam from Talladega. Be sure to log on to NASCAR.com all weekend long for all the latest news, notes, and video highlights from all the action here at Talladega Superspeedway. In the words of Ricky Bobby to sign off, if you ain't first, you're last. Have a good day, everybody.